we go. Wait, take.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdles a man, spins to the 5. Oh my, still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line. He's gonna score!
What's up, y'all? It's No Weddings in the Fall. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. I'm your host, co-host, whatever, Commissioner Cooper, and let's get to the man of the hour. The man, you don't care what I gotta say. Let's see what he gotta say. Ben Troupe in the house. Welcome into the studio, sir.
Commissioner, it's always good to be in your presence. I know you had to deal with a lot of nonsense with your America's team and the quarterback situation. I'm not trying to throw salt on the wound, but I do appreciate the fact that you still showing love. Well, listen, you got the Dolphins. You got the Hurricanes, which they doing their thing right now. So you Saturday, I don't know if Saturday balances out Sunday, but at least you've been having some real good Saturdays since the season started in college football.
That's not the way you start the show, Ben. You just got to throw it. I mean, come on, man. I don't get all this energy in.
I said I'm blessed to be in your presence. Hey, look, let me say this. Think about this. Hold on for a second. I know we're gonna get to it. The only reason why my Titans won is because my quarterback got hurt. Mason Rudolph. Come on, man. Stop it.
You have been talking a lot of smack about Will Levis. All right, real quick.
Smack about him, or do I tell the truth?
You definitely. No sense lying.
This is a family show, so I'm trying to keep it PG because I know Will Levis. I don't know if he married and got kids, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. But he keep it on. He gonna force my hand.
All right, for great takes like that, keep it right here. We'll pay the bills. Do us a solid. Hit subscribe. Hit like. Put a comment in. Be happy to banter back and forth with you guys. Little things stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do. So we appreciate that. Follow us, of course. We have a Twitter. So follow us there. No Weddings in the Fall. Just check us out. Everywhere you go. Follow us. We appreciate you. Don't forget, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code Troupe. We'll double your deposit up to $100. And if you're looking for some championship bling, look no further than Pro Am Belts. A lot of great stuff there. All right. Well, let's get into it. I already know YouTube gonna take our money, our 2 cents, but let's get it. The week on repeat. All right, I'm gonna write the name of that artist down and shout him out every time because I really do like that beat. I gotta say. All right, let's go. Let's get into you talking about Saturday? You talking about Saturday? Well, let's talk about Saturday because Alabama and Georgia was it, man. So funny story. Let me go into it real quick. 41-34 Alabama. Y'all seen it. Y'all heard it all week. What a comeback by Georgia. Crazy game. And that young dude, Alabama, Ryan Williams, 6 receptions, 177 yards, and that winning touchdown. Ooh, what a great night it was for you. So listen, I just want to say a funny story. My son is in performing arts. He's always been doing it since he was a little kid. That's his thing. He wants to be an actor, loves the musicals, loves all that. So he's setting up. It's Saturday night, and it's his musical, of course, right when Alabama and Georgia played. Well, of course, I got the YouTube TV out on the phone for a little bit, and I'm sitting there like, man, why am I wasting my time with this? Alabama rallying these people, like I'm done. So finish the musical. Tell my son, great job, he's done. Okay, boom, we're on the way home, and man, I was like, wait a minute, these guys just scored again. And again, man, that was a great football game. This is why we watch the games, these types of matchups that you love. Ben, talk about it. What'd you think of the matchup?
Whew, I think you just said it. I mean, everybody saw how it started. A 7-0, 14-0, 21-0. People think this is going to be a rout. Right before halftime, Alabama's getting ready to go on and score, and Georgia gets a pick. Right there at the goal line, they get a pick. And then you knew coming out of halftime, let me tell you something. Alabama is still the premier creme de la creme. Love what Georgia's doing, right? But you knew Kirby Smart was not. He could deal with a loss. It wasn't going to be no embarrassing loss. And like you mentioned, Georgia ended up taking the lead. But you said his name, Ryan Williams. The young man is 17 years old. He's supposed to be a senior in high school right now. So he was Mr. Alabama his junior and sophomore year in Alabama. He was like, what else can I do? I don't want state titles. I'm Mr. Alabama. What he did for the game with a touchdown is why he is who he is. Caught the ball on the sideline, stopped, was able to juke two defenders, still get in the end zone. And you see him after the game. He got the baby face. He's looking like, hey, man, this is what I respect Georgia, but this is what I do. We talking about a young man who's a part of a lineage of receivers, like Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, Devonta Smith, and the list goes on, and Jalen Waddle, and Mechie. This kid got a shot to be better than all of them. Now, I know it's early, but I'm going to keep saying this. It's not what he did, it's who he did it against. He's under the big, everybody's watching. 17 years old. Listen, he's not big. He's like 170 pounds. The boy still eats candy and probably drinks Yoo-hoo. I mean, I ain't mad at him.
Going trick-or-treating.
But when he put on that jersey, it is something for the while. It was great. It was great theater. If you I'm not a fan of Alabama. I'm not a fan of Georgia. I'm a fan of college football. So all those players out there, I'm a fan of them. And Jalen Milroe showed why he is who he is. But Carson Beck and company, Georgia, they show why they are who they are. And I'm going to say this. For those people thinking, what about the matchup? I don't think Alabama want to play Georgia twice. Live in the moment. Georgia's still going to be there in the end. But for one night, it was all about them boys from Tuscaloosa. And Nick Saban was in the building. He wasn't commentating the game, but he was tweeting. I don't know if he was texting Kirby Smart he probably saying, what is your excuse now? Because it used to be, I can't beat him because it's Nick. Now it's Coach the boys. Shout out to the boys from Alabama, because like I said, I don't know if they're going to go undefeated, but for one night, we was all privy to some beautiful football from start to finish.
Yeah, listen, I just want to know how many phone numbers Ryan Williams got. Listen, but that last play, like I didn't do it justice by setting that up, because good God, the angle that he had to catch it, he does the spin move, and then he goes down and does it was so nasty. Like, I was literally like, by the time that happened, I had finally got back home. So I was like chilling on the bed. And that was one of those moments where I just stood up and started flexing. And I hate Alabama, but I love that play. It was so cool.
Whoever do the lights in all these stadiums, if you're playing in these college stadiums at night, when these guys score, like, they turn off all the lights. It's all, the atmosphere in these stadiums is crazy. That's why I say the reason why the NFL leaves Saturdays alone is because of that. They don't. We play on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. Sometimes Saturday season goes on, but they don't want to deal with that, because you got to pick, the Cleveland Browns playing, Seattle versus Alabama and Georgia. Stop playing. You know what I'm watching. You already know.
You could not definitely, that, like you said, we've talked about that before the season started. The atmosphere in college is different, because you got a lot of young people all, joining together, for one cause. And, as the pros, like, I guess it dials down a bit. It's still, you got the fanfare, but there is definitely something to it. And to have it, especially at night, and it's just,
your son said, listen, number one, my bonus daughter, Talia, she does theater. So I understand the arts doing it. So with your son doing it, listen, one of my favorite movies of all time. Do you know how long it took me to realize that Grease was a musical? The movie Grease, you know how long it took me to realize that's a musical? Like, for real, when I'm young, I kept saying, why do you keep singing all these songs and all these choreography? I didn't know about choreography when I was that young, but it took me, like, becoming an adult, somebody said, oh man, I love the musical Grease. I'm like, Grease not a musical? Like, yes, it is. It's a movie. It took me, for real, it took me a long time to I said, dude, why is it somebody to say something, somebody to walk on? It took me, and I know people gonna laugh at me. I was too young to know what a musical was. And I used to sit there and watch it. Somebody said, that's a great musical. I'm like, that's a movie, ain't it? No, movies don't just, no. What you think, this is a Disney movie, all this singing? So, hey, man, shout out to the musical. And if you don't like musicals, you're a liar. You do like musicals. Be old enough and grown up to admit, yes, I love musicals. Now, Grease 2, nowhere near as good as Grease 1. Sometimes just leave the sequel alone. And see, I'm taking this show a whole nother way, and I'm going to do that sometimes. Yes, tell your son I'm already a fan. Looking forward to seeing him on Broadway one day.
Love it. I'm sure he would definitely appreciate that. That's funny you say that, and no one, it's finally because that's like once, real quick. I know we're on a total different tangent, but one time, I happened to be singing. The song was on. I wasn't singing it, but that "Natural Woman" song, right?
Uh-huh.
So, when it's like
Aretha Franklin.
"You make me feel like" at the end, and
Yes.
I thought, what the lyrics was "You make me feel like a man should a woman." And my wife embarrassed the shit out of me. Was like, what?
Hold on. No, here's the thing. No, I want to know this. So your wife corrects you. Do you look at her and say, she said, what did you say? What did you say? Jason, you make a man a woman? Like, it's like, because you've been saying it that way for so long. And I just think that with some of these things or whatever, like, hey, you got to laugh at it though. I mean,
Yeah.
if you laugh at it, I mean, what do we do?
The difference, though, is that my wife likes to like really hone in on those little moments and really dig deep and get the big laugh out when that happens. So, unfortunately, that's my moment. All right, we're on a whole different thing. Let's talk about college football. The U versus Virginia Tech. We know 38-34, blah, blah, blah. You didn't catch the Hail Mary. Don't want to hear you whining. Cam Ward, though, listen, I know that I know if you watch the Colorado UCF game, the talk was, of course, Travis Hunter. He's the best player in college football, which I'm definitely not going to disagree with. Mm-hmm. But if you're dismissing Cam, you didn't mention Cam Ward one time. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? 343 yards, 4 TDs, 57 rush yards, 1 TD. I didn't mention the 2 INTs. I didn't feel like it. So, again, MVP, Heisman winner, Cam Ward, I feel like, of course. But the U escapes Virginia Tech. What'd you think?
It was a great game. Once again, Kyron Drones is the cousin. So the starting quarterback for Virginia Tech is actually the cousin of Cam Ward. Think about that. Growing up, we cousins. We both go big time football. You start off with Virginia Tech. I go out there to Washington. I go out there to Washington State. I end up. I say, hey, cuz, think about that in the offseason. Cam Ward called us, cuz. What's up, Kyron? Hey, you see, hey, I'm about to hit this portal. Where you going, Miami? For real? Yeah, we play y'all next year. And you have a game like this. I agree with you. I think Travis Hunter is the best athlete in college football. I think Cam Ward is the best football player for two reasons. Number one, I love you, Travis Hunter, but no, we only care about Colorado because of Deion, because of you, because of Shador. We just keep it real. We just keep it real. Miami is a blue blood in college football. Miami has dripped into just enriched with tradition. And the thing about Cam Ward, they said, Cam, why you go to Miami? Because I won't smoke. I get tired of hearing about the U is back. I'm gonna bring the U back. Right? Even if I get 1 year to do it and I'm going to do it. And I agree. Cam Ward stop looking for reasons to disqualify this man, because every time you do, he show up and show out. And let me tell you something. You know what? You know why guys throw interceptions? Because they're trying to make plays. Yeah. But look at the stat sheet. I guarantee you everybody in that orange and green is saying green and orange, not trying to disrespect the color wave. Cam Ward is him. And I guarantee you this. If Miami played Colorado and Cam Ward had to stare at Shador Sanders, I would love to see a matchup like that, but it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I agree. Cam Ward, one of the best, if not the best player in college football. And I just think that Travis Hunter is must-see TV. I think he's the best athlete, but Travis Hunter play receiver and cornerback. He do not play quarterback. That's a different world when you the signal caller. So shout out to Cam Ward getting it done for them Canes.
Yeah, normally, probably if this wasn't a University of Miami quarterback, I probably would be on the Travis Hunter side, only because what he's doing is so special.
It is. But I will say this about Travis Hunter, and nothing against him. The machine known as Deion Sanders and just getting eyeballs. Now, the young man is as good as advertised. He is. He is the next. He's like Charles Woodson. And obviously me and you are both old enough to know Charles Woodson when he was at Michigan. But my thing is, Travis Hunter is him. He is now. He is. But I just want to see it, and I'm nothing against him. I want to see it week in and week out, because I think the thing about Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders and the Buffs, the Colorado Buffaloes, I think people are watching to see if they're going to lose so they can poke fun at Deion. It ain't the players. It's Deion. And listen, if you're looking for Deion Sanders to lose for the sake that you can poke at him, you need to get a life, man. You need to get a life real fast. I'm serious. Like, what are we doing? Like, and to us, listen, if you're going to tweet at people, tweet at grown men. Tweet at athletes in the NFL, NBA, MLB. Stop tweeting. Stop getting these burner accounts tweeting at these players in college football. You are a loser. I don't care who you are and where you are. You are a loser. You should get fined for criminal creativity. You should go to court and the judge say, I don't know what you did, but I'm fining you $1,000. I didn't do nothing, judge. Yeah, you did. You pressed send to a 18-year-old who decided to go to your rival school. Sir, get a life, get a job, and get a girlfriend.
Get out of mom's basement. So yeah, I feel you on that. I will say that the whole Deion hate is very reminiscent, for me anyway, to when LeBron went to Miami. And all of a sudden, it was like people was watching because they wanted them to mess up and they wanted them to. So it was like all of it. It was funny because I that was literally when I have a nice Miami Heat tattoo here because I was so tired of like all of a sudden I've been repping them since I was at their original draft party. So that's how much I love the Heat. And now all of a sudden you talking smack about it? Like, come on, bro. But that's what I mean, though. It's one of those, we know it. They know that Deion is greatness, and we can say whatever you want. He has done it all. Period. And people, unfortunately, hate on that.
People don't like the fact that Deion is charisma personified. Like, and his resume as an athlete is unblemished. Won Super Bowls, best cornerback of all time, played for the Braves, played for the Reds, played for the Yankees. There's nothing you can say. And now people saying, well, his sons play for him. I'm sorry. If I'm a head coach of college football, my sons play college football, it would be an embarrassment if my sons did play for me. You're going to choose somebody else? Coach Venables, the head coach at OU, when he was at Clemson, guess where his son played? Clemson. I'm like Tubby Smith. When he was at Kentucky, where did his son play? Kentucky. Bob Knight, when he was, what are we like? Stop the nonsense, people. What you gonna do? What you gonna tell his mama? Where you going, son? Man, I'm gonna go anywhere but where you at. No, you are not. You're gonna be right here with me. Come on, stop it, man. And his sons are good. That's the thing. They mad because your sons are nice. You don't got to like him, but the kid is nice.
It's got that tinge of, not even a tinge, a lot of just jealousy, period. If you had your son who played football, you played football, that's in the DNA, it's not deniable. Christian McCaffrey, I mean, we can go on and on.
Yes.
In the DNA, brought him up to play football. If you, as a parent, were in that position that Deion was in, you would do the same thing. But guess what? You're not good enough to do it. And Deion's sitting here telling you.
And I'm happy that you say the commissioner. That's what it is. Y'all are so mad because Deion said at first it was, he at Jackson State. His son really ain't that good. So Colorado calls. Go to Colorado, right? Let me tell you about 2023. The Bucks weren't good, but Shadur Sanders was, and Travis Hunter. They were good last year. So they come back next year, and everybody like, they're not going to be. I said, dude, who's the starting quarterback for Colorado State? I don't know. Who started quarterback for Arizona? I don't know. See, when you know players by name and where they play, and they supposed to be, quote, amateurs. I hate that word, by the way. Man, stop playing. Listen, in the words of Willie Beamen, they just hate me because they ain't me. You just hate Deion because you ain't Deion. Not Deion the person, but Deion, the life and the lifestyle. Stop playing with that because the more y'all hate, the more commercials he gonna do, the more NILs his kids gonna get. And guess what? Shadur, if he keep playing, he's gonna be a top 5 pick. Matter of fact, Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders might go. Boy, if they go 1 and 2, you'll never hit the end of it. Deion will never. But so y'all need to leave them alone, especially because only people talking trash are people that don't have to play them. Because if you got to play them, you get the hush mouth. So,
I hope that happens. So let Cam Ward just keep sliding to the Dolphins. All right, all right, let's go to the next one. Number 6, Ole Miss got upset by Kentucky, 20-17. Listen, we brought Kentucky up before because they took it to Georgia before they've only had 2 losses. They did have a bad one against South Carolina, but 13-12 against Georgia. We saw, Georgia went up. against one of the top 5 teams in the country. You say they're one of the best. And it was a good football game. So this is like a Kentucky team. It's time to put them in the top 25, I think, people. Good game by them. What do you think? What do you think of the matchup?
I was really, really impressed by Kentucky for this reason. I think when you have such a stellar performance against Georgia, you come up 1 point short, and then you have a letdown against South Carolina. It's easy to start saying, "All right, man, maybe we're not as good as we think we are." No, Kentucky told Ole Miss, "I know y'all was preseason this, preseason that. Y'all got Jackson Dart, Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback Lane Kiffin, the next coming. He's always going to be on the wish list of all these schools that might be wishing to fire their coach." But Kentucky told Ole Miss, "Man, outside of winning some games, y'all ain't never beat nobody significant. Y'all never been to Atlanta. Y'all never represented, even though there aren't East and West in the SEC anymore." And I think what Kentucky served Ole Miss was a wake-up call. Hey, man, keep looking past us to teams on the schedule, like the Georgias, that's coming up, like the LSUs and Alabamas. Y'all might not take us serious, but we dead serious. Shout out to Coach Mark Stoops, the brother of Bob Stoops, right? Finding a way to get it done. And if you are Ole Miss, I think it's going to be a great, not a good loss, but a great situation, because sometimes, Commissioner, you got to know you can be beat. That way you say, man, we better get right. Because the schedule, for those who don't know, in the SEC and around the country, October, November is going to be ugly. It's going to be death row for some of these schools. So, but Kentucky, man, very, very impressed with them. Listen, when I saw the upset alert, I said, ooh, because Ole Miss ain't never been in this position. Yes, Lane Kiffin had 11-2 season last year. Well, in the words of Fat Joe, last year's price ain't today's price. The price went up. And unfortunately, the price was too stiff. It is only 1 loss, but Kentucky, shout out to them for getting back to winning and not being stuck in back-to-back weeks, losing weeks. They was able to tell Ole Miss, hey, man, I know we lost to Georgia, and I know South Carolina, we had a bad day, but y'all ain't better than us, and we going to prove it. And they went out there and they got it done. They shut that offense down.
Yeah, that was impressive. Again, this is the second time they've shut an offense down.
Yes.
We've seen how good this Georgia offense is, so I hate to keep reverting back to that. But I think it just kind of tells the tale of this football team. Like I said, it's about time to at least get them up in that top 25. I don't care they got 2 losses. They've had some even though that 1 loss was against a very good team, and then they just a top 6 team. So yeah, it's time to get them in. All right, let's go to the Oklahoma with Keith Jackson, 19th ranked. Oklahoma Sooners came storming back in the 4th quarter to take Auburn 27-21. What'd you think of this one?
Hugh Freeze, the head coach of Auburn, he better get right. He better get right real fast. Hugh Freeze is a guy that, obviously, his first stint in the SEC was in Ole Miss, and then he had the other scandal. He left. He goes to Liberty, and then he has a really good tenure at Liberty, and then he gets hired as head coach at Auburn. Here's the thing about Hugh Freeze, though. Hugh Freeze was calling his players out in the post-game press conference 2 weeks ago. Hugh Freeze ain't getting it done. I'm sorry. We keep talking about blue bloods. Guess what Auburn is? A blue blood. Guess what Oklahoma is? A blue blood that just came to the SEC. And as you mentioned, Commissioner, they stormed back. Auburn had this game, and they gave it away. I don't know what's going on in Auburn right now, but Hugh Freeze better realize, hey, man, we hired you because we thought you was the one. If you're the one in the way, we will get you out the way and make way for the right one. But it's all about the Sooners. They came back and they got it done. Coach Verner was former defensive coordinator for Dabo Swinney and the Clemson boys, now the head coach at OU. They got it done. I thought it was going to be a good game. Ended up being a better game because OU said, look, man, we got to win some games to garner some respect in the SEC. I know we were in the Big 12. This is the SEC. And, hey, man, them guys from Norman, they told them boys from Auburn, I know we new to this, but we true to this. And they got that done. They're impressed.
Yeah, very impressive indeed. And, I hate to say it for Peyton Thorne. I mean, a horrible mistake throwing that interception late, but 338 yards and 3 TDs, nothing to shake a stick at. So I would just question, why we're throwing while we're up late in the game against
overcoaching it.
Over a little too much thinking, indeed. Oh, Jay said Colorado. Thank you, Jay, for your comment. Colorado isn't good. They got beat by a mid-big team. No one's saying how great. I don't think we were saying how great.
Oh, yeah. Don't get it message wrong. We are just saying why they dominate the media cycle, not because of them as a whole. It's Dion, it's Shadur, it's Travis, It's every rapper that raps is gonna come in there to, wearing their Colorado stuff, high-fiving people. People love Dion, and I get it. And because, Shadur and Travis and Shiloh, they there, hey man, I ain't mad at it. I mean, it just, no one is saying that Colorado's gonna win the national championship. And let me tell you something, we ain't ready for that. You ain't ready for Colorado to make that type of noise if they make it, they won the top 12 teams, because Dion throw it in your face subtly. He'll say, I don't listen to the haters. Yes, you do, because you got the freaking columnist band. Yes, you do listen. I don't listen to the naysayers. Yes, you do, Dion. And it's okay. You Dion Sanders, and this is what Dion really can't say. Dion has who you think you talking to him, Dion said, well, dude, we talking to the coach. We ain't talking, you coach Prime, but you ain't covering no receivers. We talking to the coach. Good coach. Are you a great coach is yet to be seen. But no, we are not saying Colorado or world beaters by no stretch of the imagination.
Not at all, but appreciate your comment, Jay, nonetheless. All right, let's go to the NFL, where things weren't as exciting as they were on Saturday, at least for me anyway on Monday. All right, let's go to the Falcons versus Saints, one of at least the better matchups of this week. 26-24, you dirty birds. So I know we were just talking on another show previously on the Blonde Blitz. We'll talk about the Bucks game in a minute, but what'd you think of this comeback, or not really a comeback? What'd you think of this Atlanta win over the Saints?
There's a commissioner. Your boy was in the building. I was in there live. I'm there to see. But here's the scene. Here's the scene. My wife is a Saints fan. My wife is a Saints fan, right? But let me tell you what she didn't tell me. We getting ready to go to the game, and I like to get your outfit. It ain't like I'm wearing nothing spectacular. I'm like, what you wearing? She won't say anything. She goes to the bathroom and comes out. She got on a Not Like Us Saints shirt. She has on some New Orleans Saints like a customized Converse All-Stars. I'm like, what the? Mind you, I'm like, I'm trying not to look at her. I'm like, what is going? You know what I'm saying? And then I did the unthinkable. Let me show you my inexperience going to games. The game started at 1. I'm trying to get there at 12:30. With all this traffic, couldn't find no parking. So hell no. So my wife, my son, and my daughter, they got out. She said, drop us. She said, she hit me with the drop us off right here at the front. Just go get some park. Like we at Walmart or something. Yeah, just go park. And I'm driving around. I cannot find parking. Like I cannot. So I said, all right. I'm never downtown. All these one-way streets and all these different things. So I remember where I parked the last time I went. I always go to the Saints Falcons game the last 3 years. So I finally found parking. I'm like a mile away from the stadium. I'm like, God, I got to walk. So this guy, he got the golf carts. He said, hey man, you want to get a ride? Want to get a ride to the stadium? I'm like, yeah. So he wasn't. Listen, I ain't got no cash on me. Listen, if you ride me in Atlanta like Chris Tucker, you only gonna be practicing. I ain't got no cash on me, but. He gave me to the stadium, and I know he wanted a tip. I said, listen, man, I'll get you when I come out. He was like, cool. I go into this game, Commissioner, and I'm just waiting on Kyle Pitts to catch a pass. I'm just waiting. At one point, no lie, for about 8 to 10 plays in a row, there was no Bijan Robinson on the field. There was no Kyle Pitts, and I'm thinking they hurt. Man, they finally come out there, and I'm like, what is going on with Kyle Pitts? What is going on with Bijan? But his name is Young Wei Koo. It ain't spelled that way. Because I saw Shannon Sharp on Shannon Sharp's podcast. He said, is his name Young Ho? His name is not Young Ho.
He knows better. His
name is Young Wei, even though it's spelled H-O-E. It's Young Wei Koo. And let me tell you about Young Wei Koo. Georgia Southern is known for kickers. That's where he went. We thought it was it's at the end of the game. We think it's 57 yards. Everybody standing up. I'm like, dude, it was 58, by the way. I took a yard away. Commissioner, this ball just hung in there. When he kicked, it's one of those things where you see how far it is. You can obviously we're gonna forgive him if he misses 58 yards. But Young Wei Koo got a cannon. I mean, he ain't Justin Tucker for the Ravens, but he not. Young Wei is nice. Because it's the Saints, or the Aints, as I call them, I was like, they ain't beating us today. That thing went through there, game over. And like I say, my wife is sitting right next to me. She kind of being subtle because she, they went up. They got, Alvin Kamara, Atlanta native, by the way, got a late touchdown. And it's just what's weird about the Falcons is they have a really, really good defense now. Like no one's really talking. They held Kansas City to 22 points. Right? They went on the road. They went, when they played, when you talk about the Falcons, what they was able to do on the road against Philly, they had to shut that offense down again, and they did. And like I say, it was a really, really good game. Obviously, I'm happy that we won because I had to, ride home with my wife. I had to act like I was talking so much. Oh my God, I was talking so much trash. We was walking to the car. And here's the thing about people don't get it. The Saints and the Falcons rivalry is real. Now, it's not Ravens and Pittsburgh, or it ain't San Francisco and, Seattle. It ain't that, right? But let me tell you what I respect the most about the Saints and the Falcons rivalry. When Roddy White, the great Roddy White, he had one more year left in his career. He got one more year left. You know who called him to try to sign him to Saints? You know what Roddy White did? He retired. I respect Roddy White because it would have been so weird seeing Roddy White in that gold and black. No. So, but Atlanta got a big win. It was a good game. And like I said, I think this might be Kyle Pitts last year in Atlanta, not because he's not a good player. He just ain't fitting into this offense. If Kyle Pitts can have 0 catches, 0 yards, you can still win the game. That's not a good sign moving forward. But shout out to my Falcons getting a big win against them Aints from New Orleans. Get y'all behind back on the plane or the bus. Just get up out of Atlanta.
Yeah, I have Kyle Pitts, my fantasy team. So yeah, I'm obviously feeling the same thing. And it's funny you said that because I think it was in the first game against, I think they played Pittsburgh, that I remember saying that it was like a microcosm of his career. His touchdown was him standing in the end zone going, "Hey,
yes.
I love it."
He was jumping up and down. The People keep saying about Matt Ryan was so good for his. I said, look, Matt Ryan was good for Julio's career. He was good for Roddy White's career. He was good for Michael Jenkins' career because he's going to demand. So his rookie year was Matty Ice's last year, and people he had 1,000 yards. I say that's how good Matty Ice. Because Matty Ice, number one, I think they got Kyle Pitts playing wide receiver. Don't do that. He's not going to get open consistently on number one cornerbacks. Like Jalen Ramsey is not as big as Kyle Pitts, but he's so shifty. Jalen Ramsey going, let's do it. And Jalen Ramsey, man, I mean, listen, keep balling, sir. Keep doing what you're doing out there on that island.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't even get me on that right now. Yeah, so just the final thought on that. I just want to say one thing. My wife's an Eagles fan. We went up to the Eagles game last year when they played America's team, the Miami Dolphins, and it was really funny because at the end they had scored, and they do the whole celebration. Yeah. And then there was a penalty, so I'm like laughing, like ta, ta, ta. And then they score like right after that, and then they do the whole celebration again, and the game was pretty much over at that point. So I had told her after the first time, I said, if you get up again, I'm walking the fuck out of here. So my bad. That was just the energy coming out. My bad. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, Ravens versus Bills, man. I was so excited. We were talking junk about this game and like, oh, it's gonna be a great game. 35-10, got a Baltimore Derrick Henry beatdown for those Bills. So talk about it. What you think of this, man?
Listen, Derrick Henry is the king for a reason. The thing about Derrick Henry is he's the only player to run away from people, and it's not like it's not like he looked like he's moving. He's a long stride. He's tall. He's like 6'2", 6'3", but 22 miles an hour. This stuff is crazy. Like Derrick Henry is 30 years old, I think. Derrick Henry is in like year 9 or 10. He's not supposed. Look, most people won't run 87 yards, let alone being chased by professional defensive players. And I think that's the thing, Commissioner, that you keep saying. You didn't bring him in to be a shiny little pony. You didn't bring him in to look like, hey man, who is this? If you go, you're out here Churchill Downs. Who is this? Who is this king? You got right. Oh hell, wait! I pull this thoroughbred out. You don't pull him out, because he looked nice. No, give him the rock. Cause let me tell you something about Derrick Henry. People don't want to hit him. Not for real. See, the people keep saying, just go back to the Dallas game. People was turning stuff down. Trevon Diggs, the brother Stephon Diggs, like, I don't want no part of that. That is a train coming at you. And look how much better they are on offense. When Lamar Jackson don't got to do but hand it off 22, that's going to be a long day. Because I think what the Ravens are starting to realize is, Lamar, you've already proven, dude, you one of the best players in the world. You got 2 regular season MVPs. What you want to do? You want a third? No. What you want to do, you want to give the ball to Tutu. Because one play, you back on the sideline. One play. Damar Hamlin is. I don't know how fast Damar Hamlin is. He was running with his head down. You know, if you run with your head down, you're trying to. And he could not catch Derrick Henry. And like I said, Buffalo is a good team. Let me say this: Josh Allen and company are a good team. But I think what Baltimore scares you is when Baltimore decide we finna run y'all. Ain't much you can do. Outside of ain't but so many teams can deal with that. I don't think San Francisco can deal with that. I don't think nobody in the NFC East can deal with that. It ain't but so many teams, and that's what's frustrating if you're a Ravens fan. You want to see that win or lose every week, and sometimes they'll go back to, all right, Lamar, get us there. Improvise every single play. Do this and do that. No, throw the ball, hand the ball off, get off the field, let your defense do what they do. And like I said, if that's the first time you ever seen Buffalo play, you'll say this team is supposed to be good. They are good. They're just not better than the Ravens. At least not that day. Later on in the season, they meet each other again. It could be totally different. But when I saw Derrick Henry take it at 87 as a former Titan, I used to see Derrick Henry do that all the time. And I'm gonna say this: Derrick Henry, to be as big as he is, he's a big back, but he's not a bruising back. He big, but he ain't a bruiser. He like the second coming of like Eric Dickerson. Now he ain't as fast as Eric Dickerson, but hey man, like I say, Derrick Henry in high school has the most rushing yards in high school history. He got like about 14,000, something crazy. But yeah, man, when I saw it, all I could think of, I said the commissioner said it. He said, "Listen, you didn't pay him for him to watch. I could just stand in the backfield and look. No, get the ball to him. Because Buffalo was like, catch him, Damar Hamlin. You the safety." So shout out to the Ravens. Very, very impressive. Very, very impressed. Derrick Henry and Kyle Van Noy, the outside linebacker, said the very next day after that win, he said he comes in the facility and Derrick Henry is working out like he's an undrafted free agent. They say he is in that and work. And Kyle stuck my head in there and said, "Yo, Derrick, you good?" "Yeah, I'm good." "All right, because I'm not coming in with you, but handle your business, there."
Hell no, we gotta rest up. Listen, I'm not that braggadocious dude, and I'm just gonna just rewind back to after week 1 and watch the show. We said it right here. Listen, it's not rocket science, and I pay to watch the game. I'm sure the people that are getting paid to make these calls can see the same thing I am, and they have seen it, and it has started to deliver. And listen, to your point, take a page, not that Lamar Jackson is near his retirement when I say this, but in the same kind of scenario, take a page out of John Elway's playbook and ride that Terrell Davis horse into the slam. Boy, what you doing? Because that's what, and right now, Ben, there is this odd trend that all of a sudden the passing is down. You don't see a lot of these games that we were seeing last year. We do see a couple, but there hasn't been a ton of passing this year. And teams are reverting back to running, and that's right now. So just imagine when it starts to get colder, and a team like the Baltimore Ravens is becoming the team, as Dennis Green would say, we thought they were, and they're coming out to play. I picked him for the Super Bowl prior to the season. I don't see anything stopping that, quite frankly. All right, let's go. What's the next one? I lost my spot here. My bad. We got the Broncos versus the Jets. Wow, 10-9. If this was in a mid-afternoon, this would be a mid-afternoon nap for me. Nobody wanted to win. This was, almost 90s-esque football. What'd you think?
The Broncos, I mean, the Jets offensive line deserve to get they need to apologize to Aaron Rodgers because they gave up 5 sacks. Look, just look at I look at offensive linemen like security guards. Their job is to protect the guy behind them. You need new security. Oh my God, it's like they lived in the backfield all game long. You lost 10-9. Look, 10-9. You lost to a rookie. Bo Nix, because once again, it's what you just said. It ain't about stats. It's about dubs. Let's not get caught up in the box scores. Remember the time people like, oh man, he only had 400 yards passing. Did he win the game? No. Then it was for nothing. It was for nothing. And I think the thing about when you talk about the Jets, they thought they was a player away. They got this top out of this world defense. They said Aaron Rodgers need to add some pieces. Who gonna block for him? Oh, that's right. The O-line got the block. So I was very impressed with Denver because I think the thing about Denver is, when you got a rookie quarterback, you're going to go through some growing pains because he's going to go through some growing pains. Let me tell you what Bo Nix is not doing. He's not putting them in a position to lose because he's not turning the ball over. He's not trying to do too much. He's taking what the defense giving him, and he's walking away with wins. You don't believe me? Ask Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Went to Tampa and got that dub with them. Now you talk about the Jets. So when people talk about who's ahead of schedule, the Broncos right now are looking like the Texans last year. They are ahead of schedule. Bo Nix is looking like him because he's not doing too much. Just do what we asked you to do. Because Sean McVay, listen, Sean McVay play calls is like the menu at Cheesecake Factory. It just goes and goes. It just everywhere. I don't know why Sean McVay's plays are so worthy, but Bo Nix can call the play, he can execute the play, and he's winning games. So shout out to the Broncos. And if you're a Jets fan, like I say, y'all still listen. The Jets in New York, even though they're in New Jersey, are like the Mets. Y'all little brothers to the Giants. And the Giants ain't even that good right now. And anybody that got something to say different, I live in New Jersey, not too far from East Rutherford. And I'm telling you, Jets fans are loyal. I don't know why they're so loyal. They just don't like the Giants. But shout out to the Broncos, man. I'm going to keep it all about the Broncos. They got it done.
Yeah, I got a Jets fan on my show, and they obviously annoys the hell out of me. And I just want to say, and I'm not saying it because I hate on the Jets, but I think they are what you would say are in an identity crisis. You have a team who has 2 great running backs, but you want to try to get cute with Aaron Rodgers at the same time. It's almost like take a page out of the Baltimore Ravens playbook, get to a running offense and let Aaron Rodgers make plays when he needs to. You got a great defense. So, I mean, this is not rocket science. I mean, I'm saying I'd love to be a coach or something because, like, if they don't understand that, like, I guess I could do it. I mean, what the hell is going on?
Listen, Aaron Rodgers can throw a pass for 2 yards, and whoever's announcing the game was like, oh, my God, did you see that? The announcers, they just, listen, they fanboy Aaron Rodgers like they used to fanboy Tom Brady and how they used to fanboy, Peyton Manning. And I get it. And Drew Brees, and I get it. But what happens when the Jets aren't winning because it ain't Aaron Rodgers? It's the culture of the Jets. They don't have a culture. If they have a culture in the Jets, it's called what is going on? Because last time I checked, the Jets are just in the AFC East. They don't do anything. They're not gonna. The last time the Jets were relevant, Rex Ryan was the head coach and Mark Sanchez was the quarterback. I'm gonna keep saying that. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
They're so embarrassing. All right, let's go. Eagles versus the Bucs. Wow, this was a big surprise. 33-16. I thought for sure the Eagles were going to bounce back from that embarrassing playoff loss last year, but the Eagles, the Bucs had something dialed up. I mean, I can't remember now, and I apologize. Should have did a little more show study, but I can't remember the exact amount of yardage they had during like that first even half. It was atrocious, whatever it was. And going back to the same thing, I don't know how many times Saquon got the ball, but it was almost like they kept doing it in the same set. They throw a pass first, which I don't know why be set up to throw passes when you don't really have your top receivers in. You're not the only other guy you have really is Goddard. And you're doing the same thing. You're throwing on first down, running on second down, and then throwing again on third down. I mean, it was almost like I'm like, can we mix it up a little and just give it to Saquon? But anyway, what you think of it?
Well, I know I talked about the Jets offensive line, and they need new security. Philadelphia need new security too. They gave up 6 sacks. So the Jets gave up 5, and the Phillies O-line gave up 6. Let me tell you what the Bucs realized. They said, "Listen, I like Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts is a different guy when he ain't got AJ. He got Saquon, yeah, but he won't even get a ball to Saquon. AJ Brown not being out there means, hey man, Devonta Smith got to be your number 1 receiver. Thinking about Devonta Smith, right? Devonta Smith is fast. He is not big. Big and Devonta Smith ain't never been the same sentence. Well, I know we talked about Ryan Williams, when we first came on the show. Devonta Smith might be smaller than, he's taller than Ryan Williams. They might be the same build. And Vita Vea, if you've never met him, he's about 350 pounds. He's a large human being. And he was beating the brakes off of Jalen Hurts all game long. Yeah. And I think the thing about the Philly is what we said about the Jets, though, Commissioner. They ain't got no identity. Because here's the thing about Philly. They got a lot of big names on defense. They got a lot of big names on their team. No production. Charles Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goddard, lost. But you know what it's about? I don't know how good of a coach Nick Sirianni is. Because Nick Sirianni, see, when you go to the Super Bowl, you right a lot of wrongs. But here's the thing. Since the Super Bowl, though, collapsed last season, just fell off the earth. And then we talk about the not so good relationship between him and Jalen Hurts. And let me just say this about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts became who he is to get the respect that he got. They drafted him. They did not want him. But he became what he became. But I'm not seeing any progression. I'm not seeing any improvement. And with all that money you got on defense, whether it's through the draft or a free agency, Darius Slay, Georgia boy, coastal Georgia boy, he ain't looking like himself. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson misses more tackles in the open field than I've seen him do in a long time. You cannot live off reputation, people. You have to update your resume every day and every Sunday when it comes to National Football League. And for Philly, hey man, that check is bouncing right now. That you are not paid in full. Well, once again, shout out to the Bucs. Shout out to Mike Evans, who I think is the all-time leader receiver now in Bucs history. All he does is score touchdowns, just like Derrick Henry. Look like he's running fast, but that's some DBs. He running right by him every single week. But shout out to the Bucs, man. Coming off a bad loss against them, get back to their winning ways against Philly. And if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, good luck, because I don't know when AJ Brown is coming back. Gave Saquon all that money, and sometimes you feature him, sometimes you don't even know he's out there. But guess what? You know what Saquon and Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown don't do? Play defense. And if their defense don't get no better, we're gonna be talking about Jaden, last name Daniels, winning the freaking NFC East at the end of the year. We'll see. Still.
Hey, that's what it's starting to head that way right now. That is for sure. Pretty crazy. All right, we're going to finish up. I mean, we're way over time. So let's talk about this real quick. I don't want to even talk about it. America's team getting dumped by the Titans, 31-12. What'd you think?
I'm going to just say this about, number one, Mason Rudolph, thank you. Not because you won the game. I'm tired of looking at Will. I'm just tired of looking at it. I just, what you diving for? Like, what are you What? Why are you diving, Will? I'm trying to get a first down. Sit. And anyway, I'm so sick of Will Levis, and it's only been 4 weeks. Here's the thing about Miami. Miami is like San Francisco. They are riddled with injuries. People getting injured every week. Jalen Phillips got injured. Like he's out. He got a partially torn ACL. You still ain't got Chubb. I don't even know if he's going to be able to play at what point this season. The quarterback situation in Miami is abysmal because whoever the GM is in Miami, what are you doing? You are supposed to have a Tua and a Tua 2. When I say Tua 2, it means he don't supposed to be Tua, but you're supposed to have a letdown. Your backup, listen, Mason Rudolph only looked like a halfway decent football player because Hundley on the other side, he's doing the best he can, but it seems too much for him right now. You're gonna have to address the. I know that Tua is probably like a couple of weeks removed from coming back, but you don't know how that's gonna be when he does come back. This comes down to the fact that you got to have a quarterback that if my starter gets hurt, we don't miss a beat. And right now, I get it, injuries happen, but you need to have somebody rock solid. People saying, "Well, who can I get, man? Who can I get?" He's in the booth. His name is Tom Brady. You call him. The worst thing he says, "No, call him." Like, what am I saying? Miami, what does Miami have going for them? The weather. right? The fact that we can still be competitive. Oh, and I got to say, shout out to Tyreek Hill. He put to bed all them rumors. He's not trying to get traded. He says, "Look, I want to be in Miami, and I want to retire in Miami, and that $90 million extension with $65 million guaranteed all season, that'll make you stay." And I'm sorry, people never in the history of life for somebody saying, "Where you moving to? Kansas City? Where you coming from? Miami?" They don't do that. What? He has no state tax in the state of Florida, and it's Kansas City. I'm thinking that the Chiefs are in Missouri, but you also got a Kansas City, Kansas. Whether it's Kansas or Missouri, ain't nobody trying to go there. So love you, Tyreek, man. I'm happy that you put that stuff to bed because don't nobody want to play with the only man with a mohawk that don't drive a motorcycle named Patrick Mahomes. Ain't nobody trying to go out there. He's with Tua. When Tua gets back, they'll get back.
Yeah. So again, I keep saying taking a page out of. So look at the Colts, for example. Like Anthony Richardson goes down, Joe Flacco comes in, and still it's Joe Flacco, but he's still. It's not like this horrible. Oh, the season's over. We don't have a Joe Schmo, really, quite frankly. And when someone walks in off the street and looks better than the backup that you had already had, that's a problem. And I will say, yeah, Tom Brady, whatever, he ain't coming here. But I will say it again. If you want to talk about a 2-2, call up the Pittsburgh Steelers and get Russell Wilson to this fucking football team because there's your quality fucking backup right there. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but go get a quality backup that fits the mold of your system and actually is pretty much is an older of the QB that you have. So that to me would be the smartest thing.
Hold on, Commissioner. I'm not saying Tom Brady gonna say yes.
Oh, I know.
Because once again, Commissioner, you said it. Look, people say, why do you go up? Why do you got to have two good quarterbacks? Because they like pitchers. When the last time a starting pitcher didn't miss some time during the season? They play like 279 games and it still come down to one game. But I just think that for Miami, you in your window as far as you got to deal with injury like everybody do, but the quarterback position is too important. It's way too important to say, hey man, this is when the quarterback position is bad. When somebody say, hey man, Tua's who's gonna be the backup? It's Huntley. What? Well, some people start saying, what? That's who because you don't know who the backup is until your starter gets hurt. But when he gets hurt, listen, Joe Flacco is 8 days older than Anthony Richardson's mom. Yeah, he's 8 days older than her. Right? When people are trying to say that, hey, I know how cool is it to play with Anthony? He said, Anthony Richardson don't think I'm cool, but I'm 8 days older than his mom. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that crazy? Listen, ain't that crazy? Hold on. Your mom was born. I was born 8 days older, 8 days before your mom was. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, yeah. And listen, and for people who say, hey, and Joe Flacco's career has been much better than a lot of people that got drafted before him and after him because he got a Super Bowl, the same number of Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers, right? And he's still doing it. They better be they lucky to have him because the Colts right now they got an athlete at quarterback and Anthony Richardson. They got a quarterback playing quarterback with Joe Flacco.
Yeah, again, this is the point of just having somebody quality. That should just have already been when you have a quarterback that's been through the traumatic stuff he's already been through. Whatever, bro. I can't. Don't even get. I'm gonna get real.
The GM for the Miami Dolphins. Earn your paycheck.
Yeah, bro.
Go get somebody. Listen, and nothing against Huntley, but go get somebody, man.
Somebody fits the system. That fits the system. Huntley fits the Baltimore Ravens system. That makes sense. He doesn't make sense in my. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, all right, let's go on. Let's talk about what we're gonna watch this week. All right. So, like I said, we way over, and I went and looked at these college games. I was like, damn, man, I ain't know. So, let's go. This is the one that I saw that at least had a top 25 teams playing. Number 9, Missouri versus number 25, Texas A&M. What do you think of this matchup?
I was just saying that what makes this game intriguing is the fact that nobody's really talking about Mizzou, but they're a really, really good team. I know Coach Elko is still in his first year, Texas A&M taking over. For a coach that that would go with that didn't really live up to his contract. Jimbo Fisher, who had like a $60 million buyout. God, no, $60 million to leave. That's the kind of jobs we need. Coop, think about this. We get jobs, somebody they'll say, Commissioner Ben, you guys buyouts is like $60 million. For real? Yeah. That's the lead. That's the lead. That's if you don't get it done. We can go out there and yell and scream. Come on, Hunley, throw a freaking pass. People like, we gonna lose. How do I go to a press conference and feel bad when I get $60 million to leave? $60 million. And guess what? Kevin Sumlin, the coach that they replaced, that they got rid of for Jimbo, they got the same record. They did exactly. But I'm intrigued to see Missouri. They're a team in the SEC that nobody expects to play well, and they keep on playing well. They keep on. Coach Eli Drinkwitz, who looks like an accountant, and he's a freaking head coach in the national. In the SEC. I'm just intrigued to see if Missouri can keep doing what they're doing, because I think just like Oklahoma, they're gonna spoil some people's seasons because nobody wants them to be good, but unfortunately, Missouri didn't get the memo.
Yeah, all right. How about the next one? Auburn versus Georgia. Are they going to bounce back this week? And, we just talked about Auburn playing Oklahoma pretty tough this week. So what do you think of this matchup?
Georgia going to beat the hell out of Auburn. I'm sorry. They are. But listen. Georgia is going to open up. Listen to me. Look. Georgia don't want nobody thinking that other teams can compete with them. I just talked about Hugh Freeze in the opener. Hugh Freeze is a head coach that thinks that his resume is good enough to keep his job. No, you're gonna keep your job because it's only in year number 2. But dude, you ain't got no resume to be walking around with your chest poked out. Y'all, what? For me, they're gonna look competitive about a couple of series, and Georgia gonna say, wait, what? It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly all game long. Sorry, Hugh Freeze and Auburn. This ain't old-fashioned hate, whatever. The longest rivalry I think you got in football. Georgia is going to beat the hell out of Auburn. I'm telling you, it is going to get ugly. It ain't gonna. I know Auburn is in Alabama, but they ain't Alabama. They Auburn. So, and Georgia gonna play, man. Last week ain't this week. Y'all finna catch some of this.
Oh, wow. Here we go. Gonna catch some. All right. I like it. All right. Let's go. This one, I only just threw it out there because I hate FSU so much, and I just thought it'd be fun to trash them. What do you think? Number 15, Clemson versus FSU.
DJ Uiagalelei is going to play, against his old team, the team that he came out of high school and went to before he went to Oregon State. I don't know what's going on with Florida State. I knew they wasn't going to be as good as it was 2023. I know they're going to look like this. Mm-hmm. Coach Norvell better be lucky he went undefeated in 2023. He better be lucky he had a team like that last year, and he better be lucky he got a transfer that's on team number 3. Clemson is not losing to Florida State. I don't know when Florida State going to get another win. It will not be this weekend. Them boys, they probably going to have on all – nobody wears all orange more than Clemson. They wear all orange all the time. It's probably going to be all orange versus all burgundy or garnet or whatever the hell they want to call it. It's burgundy. What the hell is garnet? Garnet ain't no color. It's burgundy. Anyway, Florida State going to get beat. And like I said, Coach Norvell, I don't know if he got a backup. I know we keep talking about quarterbacks. I don't know who the backup is at Florida State. You might want to give him a look. Because DJ Uiagalelei or DJU ain't getting it done. Clemson in a big way.
Man, so FSU right now reminds me of the Mississippi Mud Dogs before they acquired Adam Sandler as the water boy. Kind of what the feel I got right now for them. All right, let's go to NFL. Bucks at Falcons. Bucks lead the series 31-30. Split last year 16-13 for the Falcons, and it was a 29-25 victory for the Bucks. Who wins this one?
Obviously, I hate to go against my Falcons, but I just think that the Bucks are a more stable team because I know what they're gonna give you on offense, and obviously they play, no Antoine Winfield on defense, but at the safety position. But I just think their D line and front seven, Levante Davis still getting it done with the freaking Bucks. The fact that you can't find a way to beat Drake and Kyle pitch the ball consistently, and Bijan Robinson, they'll take him out the lineup. I know Young Wei Koo, and it is Young Wei Koo. People just don't look at the spelling. That's how you pronounce it. I just think the Bucks are just a more balanced team. Baker Mayfield has found a nice home, in Tampa. I think it's going to be a good game. I like my defense, man, with Judon and Anderson and Bates and company and Simmons. But AJ Terrell, But the defense don't play offense. And the thing about the Falcons offense, I don't know how they're going to manufacture points. They wasn't even manufacturing points outside of Younghoe Koo on Sunday. I know. So give me the Bucks, even though I hate picking the Bucks, even though I can't really lose in this game because I grew up a Falcons fan, but I played for the Bucks. So I can't really lose, even though I do want my Falcons to win. They probably won't.
I think they're gonna pull this one out. I think I like what the Falcons are going, and I think the Bucks. I feel like I was talking to a friend of mine who's a Bucks fan, and he said he made the statement that the Bucks look for that fight, and I do feel like that's kind of right. I feel like this is like a scrappy team, and I feel like they're that they're emotional. And so I feel like they got up, and that's probably why they lost to the Broncos, because they was looking ahead to the Eagles. They got all excited for this Eagles thing, and I think it's just that general letdown with this good Falcons defense that you mentioned before. I like your boys this week, so we'll see. All right, Jets at Vikings in the London game. That's the only reason why I brought it up. The Jets lead the overall series 8-4. Last time they played was in 2022. The Vikings won 27-22. Lots of twos in that. They've won 3 in a row in the series. However, what do you think? Are you waking up for this? This is the question.
If I'm up, it's not a good reason why I'm up. I'm up for maybe one of my dogs that did something crazy, something that fell in the house or something. So if I am up, I will be watching because I do want to see Sauce Gardner versus Justin Jefferson overseas. But that's what I really want to see. I want Sam Darnold to look over at Aaron Rodgers and say, everybody thought it was me, right? I'm seeing ghosts and everybody's clowning me. So Aaron, how is things going for you with the Jets? Oh, that's right. I wouldn't know because I'm over here with a winning franchise. We're not losing right now. We haven't lost yet. Sam Darnold get to look at Aaron Rodgers and say, hey, man, ain't as easy as you thought it was going to be. What I had a good defense when I was there. Not as good as yours. But now I got Aaron Jones, I got Jordan Addison, I got Justin Jefferson. But what I really got, I got wins. Remember that? No, you don't. So if I'm up, I will watch. But I'll take the matchup with Justin Jefferson and Sauce Gardner because I do think Sam Darnold respects Sauce Gardner. But Justin Jefferson said, boy, if you don't throw me this ball, I ain't scared of him. I want to see that matchup. And I do got the Vikings winning because, like I said, as bad as my Falcons offense be looking, I don't know what the Jets be doing sometimes. I'm like, what? Just hand the ball off. No, we want to make Aaron Rodgers look good, especially overseas. Man, Aaron Rodgers got like $500 million, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, what's funny is that, my wife and I mentioned we went to the Eagles game because we do like a stadium tour. I like to go to travel at least one stadium, each year. This year we were going to do Saints and Philly, ironically, but, stuff didn't work out. She had a trial and stuff. So the one, as we're sitting here thinking in my head, is Miami goes to Minnesota, and that would just be fun to go to there, even though I know
before it gets cold.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like to experience the cold a little too because I don't get it a lot.
They say it's nice.
But it's indoors too, so I'm good for the game. But I just want to, and I love the little skull chant and all that. But yeah, I like the Vikings in this matchup because I hate the Jets. Period. All right, let's go. Bills at Texans. This is what I'm really excited for. Texans lead the overall series 6-5. Last time they played was in 2021, and the Bills won 40-0. But that was when Davis Mills was a quarterback and Mark Ingram was back in the backfield. So, very different team to say the least. What do you think of this matchup?
The Bills are coming off, a disappointing and embarrassing loss against the Baltimore Ravens. I know the Houston got back to it. They get a big win, but I think for me, I'm gonna go with the Bills because while I like the Texans, I think it's something you say on the Blonde Blitz. They really haven't looked like the expectations this season. We just expected them to just turn it on, and we forget D'Amico Ryans is only in year 2. C.J. Stroud is only in year 2. Right? Will Anderson is only in year 2. This is a franchise and team that's not a media darling. They're in the AFC South, and I don't know. I think their colors are red, white, and blue. They're in Houston, whatever. So I just Buffalo to me is a team just like the Ravens, just like Kansas City. When they decide they're gonna play, ain't much you can do with them because Josh Allen, he's an excellent football player. But I think I mentioned the only thing about him When he's good, everybody want to praise him. But when he's bad, people don't give him fair criticism. They don't really jump on him like they would a Tua or Lamar or, or these big or Herbert or Burrow and so on and so forth. It's almost like it's everybody else's fault. It ain't his. But let me tell you about Josh Allen. Josh Allen puts himself in harm's way. He'll do that Will Levis dumb stuff. It'll be 4th and 6. He'll go dive and 7 yards. Get what are you diving for? Like, bro, you doing all that? It's a first down. But I do think it'd be a good game. I think, CJ Stroud and company and, Tank Dell, and those guys on offense are going to put up a fight. But Buffalo's not going back-to-back weeks losing. Like I say, Buffalo can live with losing to Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. They're not losing. They say, sorry, CJ Stroud. I know you going to be, you one of the faces of the National Football League. Now you got both. You got your rookie year. But this grown man business over here. We're going to be taking care of it. They're going to be taking care of business on Sunday, giving them.
I like it. This is a funny game to me because I feel like, Houston wants to bounce back, but, you basically had said it. It's just they're not that team that this Buffalo Bill team. They know how to win football games, period. I thought they were in for a letdown this season. Boy, was I wrong.
They brother of Dalvin Cook at running back. They're nice.
They're nasty right now. So yeah, I like the Bills in this one. All right, let's finish it up. Monday night, Saints at the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the overall series lead 7-5. Last time they played was in 2020, and the Chiefs won 32-29. It's been 3 in a row for them in this series. What do you think of this one?
I do think, obviously, I think the Chiefs going to probably, come out with the win. I think now, I don't know who's going to be a receiver for the Chiefs. I know that's a big topic of conversation right now because, they're down Rice. I know they got Xavier Worthy. He can run a 4-2, but every time we see him, he's either catching a bomb or he's running like a reverse. I don't know if he can run routes yet. Travis Kelce had to show the whole world. I know I'm with Taylor Swift, but I'm still one of the best fighters in the league. Don't play with me. Stop playing with this man. But I think the thing about the Saints is, once again, they got Alvin Kamara, right? Obviously they got Derek Carr. I think Taysom Hill, who had 2 touchdowns against my Falcons, he only balls out against my Falcons, by the way. I think he got hurt. The Saints right now, they're good, not great. They when they played Dallas, they looked like world beaters, but they lost to my Falcons. The Saints going to probably make it exciting because they got a defense, Tyrann Mathieu and Marshawn Lattimore. Them boys still out there getting it done. Cameron Jordan, they still out there getting it done. But their offense is like it's streaky. Like sometimes it looks real good, sometimes it looks real bad. They had, special teams, they had a special teams debacle. That's how Atlanta got their first touchdown. But I think Kansas City, they keep winning because once again, I'm gonna keep on saying the commish. Kansas City don't care how it looks. They just want to win. And Patrick Mahomes ain't got these gaudy numbers because he's already done it. I got 2 MVPs. I got 3 Super Bowl MVPs. I'm trying to fill these. He's trying to fill both rings up. Both hands with rings. So give me Kansas City, but I do think that New Orleans does make a game of it.
Yeah. So I agree with everything you're saying. I'm like sitting here like, yeah, I totally. But I'm gonna say, there's some moments sometimes where I'm like, you're bound to lose at some point. The Saints defense is good. Like they're a good defense. And I think you're giving your Falcons like not enough respect. I think that they are a decent football team with a decent offense, even though they ain't Kyle Pitts involved. But I like the Atlanta Falcons. I like the Saints. I think that they're a good team. I think they're going to bounce back and surprise a lot of people and win on Monday night.
Okay. You already know Tuesday morning headlines. If Kansas, oh my God, Kansas City lost. Who beat them? Well, Kansas City lost the first game of the year in 2023 to Detroit at Kansas City. People like, oh, they missed a step. How did that season end? Oh, Kansas City won out. Hey. So I do agree, Commish. As Kansas City said, listen, let's go ahead and lose some games because I don't want people thinking that we want to go undefeated. We don't want to do all that. But I will say this. I don't know who the best player is on offense in the NFL. Chris Jones. Who going to block him? My God. Who going to block him on defense?
Oof. I'm like, I don't know who actually. All right, let's close things out. We got our final thought. Appreciate you guys for joining us tonight. We're gonna have Ben's final thought of the night, the Skadoop of the week. Before I head out, check out me on TSS Fantasy Friday night. I even loaded the graphic. I thought it'd be funny to show. It's Friday night breakdown, Fortnite style. That's how I did it this week. You see, I love Baker's little suspenders there. It's awesome. Check us out. Check us out on Friday night. We're going to break down the whole slew of Sunday and Monday matchups, and I got some fantasy friends along to show some good. We got, I think, on Friday night. I can't even remember what we do, but we got some great segments to show you as well. So check us out on Friday. All right, about to close it out with Ben's Skadoop of the week.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdles the man, spins to the 5. Oh my, still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line. He's going to score.
What up, my good people of the world? Listen, let me just get what's on my mind off my mind. Let me get what's on my chest off my chest. Davante Adams no longer wants to be in Las Vegas. We knew this was going to happen. We didn't know how soon it was going to happen, but he's already said he wants to be traded. Who wants him? Surprise, surprise. He want to have the reunion with the Jets. Kansas City is getting in the mix. Let me say this about Davante Adams. I'm going to miss him in the silver and black. Because when he came out there, I knew they wasn't going to keep him for one or two reasons. Either one, they wasn't winning, or two, he cost too much money. They want a second-round pick and some money, to deal with him. But I will say this. If Davante Adams goes to the Jets, it won't mean a thing because the Jets are just that bad. If he goes to Kansas City, it's over with. Because I'm telling you, if Kansas City is good with him, they become out of this world. I mean, they good without him, they become out of this world with him. Davante Adams, man, I mean, he one of them ones, 3-time first-team All-Pro. I wish him nothing but the best. But Tyreek Hill, I appreciate you putting all the rumors to rest by saying, I'm a Miami Dolphin now. I'm going to be a Miami Dolphin when I retire. If anybody need me, he'll be in the 305. Thanks for listening to Know Where to the Fall. Because let me tell you something. You can do whatever you want to do in the spring. You can do whatever you want to do in the summer. You can do whatever you want to do in the winter. If I catch you in a church in the fall, I'm coming in, and this whole part of my hand going to have white powder on it, and I'm going to smack you in the face. Not because you're wrong, because you're dead wrong. You be you. I'm going to be true. This is Know Where to the Fall. We out.